Everything you have been told about catching a liar is dead wrong. You've heard it a million times since you were a kid. You see it in movies, you read it in bad psychology articles, and you hear it from your own parents. Look me in the eye and tell me the truth. It is the golden rule of honesty, right? If they look away, they are hiding something. If they stare you down, they are telling the truth. But guess what? That is the absolute worst thing you can do. That advice is ancient, it is outdated, and honestly, it is dangerous. If you are staring into someone's eyes trying to find a lie, you aren't catching them. You are helping them. You are actually making them smarter, sharper, and more convincing. We need to completely rewrite the rulebook on human deception right now because the old rules are getting people hurt. They are getting bank accounts drained, businesses ruined, and relationships destroyed because good people like you are looking for the wrong signals. Listen to me closely. When you lock eyes with a liar, you think you're applying pressure. You think you're putting them under the microscope or sweating them out. But what you are really doing is giving them a live data feed of your emotions. You are handing them a mirror to check their own performance. A skilled liar, a narcissist, a con artist, or just a desperate person uses your eye contact to calibrate their story. In real time, think about it. If you frown, they soften their tone. If you look skeptical, they add a fake detail to sound more credible. If you look confused, they simplify the lie. By looking them in the eye, you are literally coaching them on how to trick. You are the teacher, and they are the student. Getting an A+ in deception, this is a survival skill. It isn't just about spotting a fib. It's about protecting your mental space, your money, and your sanity. So before we go any deeper into the twisted psychology of this, I need you to do something for me. If you refuse to be a victim, if you want to arm yourself against this kind of manipulation, hit that like button right now. It's a small signal, but it tells the algorithm that this kind of safety intel matters. Go ahead, tap the like. Let's make sure this information gets to the people who actually need it. Alright, let's talk about cognitive load. This is the secret mechanism that liars exploit, and it is the key to flipping the script on them. Lying is hard work for the human brain. It takes a massive amount of energy. To tell a lie, the brain has to suppress the truth, invent a scenario, maintain the story, and monitor your reaction all at the same time. It's like running a supercomputer at maximum capacity with 50 tabs open. It creates what psychologists call cognitive load. Now, logic would tell you, make them look at me, add the pressure of eye contact, and their brain will overload and crash, right? Wrong. Research from the University of Michigan and other top behavioral institutes has found the exact opposite effect. When you force a liar to look you in the eye, they don't break, they focus. It turns out that for a manipulative personality, eye contact doesn't increase the load, it stabilizes it, it grounds them. When you look away, you deprive them of that connection. You leave them floating in the dark without a reference point. But when you stare, you engage their fight or flight social defenses, you trigger their adrenaline, you wake them up, you are practically giving them a shot of espresso and telling them, game on. And the scariest part, you are trusting your gut, but your gut is reacting to their performance, not the facts. You see steady eye contact and your brain thinks honesty. You see confidence and your brain thinks truth, but all you are really seeing is a predator who is very comfortable in the hunt. They know that if they just hold your gaze, you will eventually fold. But it gets worse. There is a specific biological reason why looking away, breaking that contact, is the only way to actually hear the lie. It has to do with how your auditory cortex processes sound versus how your visual cortex processes images. And once you understand how this works, you will never look a salesperson, a politician, or a cheating partner in the face the same way again. You are about to learn how to turn their greatest weapon against them. Here is the biological reality. Your brain is a limited resource. It has a bandwidth cap. And here is the thing nobody tells you. Vision is a bandwidth hog. Visual processing takes up nearly half of your brain's resources. When you are busy analyzing a person's face, watching their hands, and locking eyes, your brain is running at 90% usage just on the visuals. You have almost nothing left to analyze the words. You become deaf to the deception because you are too busy watching the show. This is why the FBI and top-tier interrogators are trained to do something that feels completely unnatural. They look down. They look at a notebook. They look at the wall. Sometimes they even turn their ear toward the suspect. Why? Because when you cut the visual feed, your hearing becomes supercharged. You stop seeing the confident smile and you start hearing the crack in the voice. You start hearing the hesitation. You start hearing the distancing language. Let me give you a concrete example. A truthful person says, "I didn't steal the money." A liar, who is overthinking the structure of the sentence, will often say, "I did not take that money." Did you catch the difference? It's subtle. They stopped using contractions, "I did not" instead of "I didn't." And they used "that money" instead of "the money" to push the object away from them. Psychologically, if you are looking them in the eye, being charmed by their smile, you will miss that slip-up every single time. But if you are looking at the floor, that sentence rings like a warning bell. So, here is the technique. I call it the disengaged ear. Next time we suspect someone is lying to you, whether it's a contractor overcharging you or a friend making an excuse, do not stare them down. Shift your gaze to their ear or their forehead. Or better yet, look at a spot on the wall behind them. This does two things instantly. First, it frees up your brain to process their grammar and tone. You will hear the lie before you see it. Second, and this is the fun part, it absolutely terrifies the liar. Remember, they need your eye contact to calibrate. They need your feedback. When you look at their ear or the wall, you are denying them that data. They don't know if you are buying it or not. They start to panic. And when a liar panics, they start talking too much. They start over-explaining. They start giving you details you didn't ask for. They will try to pull you back in. They might lean forward or wave their hands to get your attention. Do not give it to them. Keep your gaze detached. Let them sweat in the silence. I want to pause here for a second because I know some of you have experienced this instinct before. Have you ever been on the phone with someone and you knew they were lying just by the vibration of their voice? You couldn't see them, but you just knew that wasn't magic. That was your auditory cortex working without visual distraction. If you have ever caught a lie just by listening, or if you've ever been tricked because you looked someone in the eye and trusted their honest face, drop a comment below. Tell me I heard it, or I saw it. I want to see how many of us have been relying on the wrong sense. Now, we need to move to the advanced level, because looking away helps you hear the lie. But there is a specific question you can ask that will shatter their story completely. It's a technique used to break alibis, and it works on everyone from cheating spouses to corporate fraudsters. It destroys the linear narrative they have rehearsed in their head. Most people think lying is about creativity. It's not. It's about memory. And I'm about to show you how to hack their memory so the truth falls right out of their mouth. Here is the kill switch for any lie. It is the technique that breaks the script. Liars are linear. When they invent a story, they write it like a movie script. Scene 1, Scene 2, Scene 3, I went to the store, then I met Mike, then I came home. They rehearse it in chronological order over and over again until it flows perfectly. That linear flow is their safety net. So, how do you cut the net? You force them to go backward. It's called cognitive overload via reverse chronology. Here is how you do it. Let them tell you their story. Let them finish their rehearsed speech. Keep looking at the wall. Keep listening. Then, when they are done and waiting for your approval, you ask one simple question. Okay, I got it. But right before you met Mike, what were you doing? And right before that, what happened? Watch what happens if they are telling the truth. This is easy. The truth is stored in memory as a collection of sensory experiences, not a script. You can access a real memory from any direction. You can jump into the middle, the end, or the beginning. It's a 3D map in your head. But a lie is one-dimensional. It only works forward. When you ask a liar to tell the story backward, their brain crashes. They start stuttering. They say things like, "Wait, let me start over." They lose track of the details. They mix up who was there. The cognitive load becomes too heavy to carry. They drop the lie right in front of you. This is your advantage. The moment you stop looking them in the eye, You stop playing their game. You stop being an audience member for their performance, and you start being the director. You take control of the timeline. You take control of the interaction. Stop trying to be a human lie detector by looking for shifty eyes. That is Hollywood nonsense. The most dangerous liars in the world, the sociopaths, the corporate climbers, the scammers, they can stare at you without blinking for an hour. They thrive on that contact. Don't give it to them. Starve them of attention. Focus your ear, and when the time is right, make them walk backwards through their own minefield. The world is getting noisier. Deception is getting more sophisticated. Deepfakes, AI, and social engineering are making it harder to know what is real. But human psychology, that hasn't changed in 10,000 years. The brain still has limits, and if you know how to exploit those limits, you become immune to the noise. You don't have to be a victim of the next smooth talker who walks into your life. You have the tools now. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are psychological triggers and social defense mechanisms that most people go their whole lives without knowing. We act as prey because nobody taught us how to be hunters. I am going to keep exposing these vectors. I am going to keep decoding the signals that everyone else ignores. If you want to be part of the 1% who actually sees the world clearly, if you want to know the secrets that keep you safe and put you ahead of the pack, then you need to lock this connection in. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. Do not let this channel get lost in your feed. You've seen the truth today. Now make sure you don't miss what's coming next. Stay cryptic, stay safe, and never ever look them in the eye.